Yes, my mother was wonderful. And she started off when I was about this big, and she said, always try to look at the upside, not the downside.
Betty White, America's cherished TV icon, captured hearts with her charm, wit, and iconic roles in The Golden Girls and Hot in Cleveland. Her career spanned over 8 decades, leaving a legacy of laughter and love. When she passed at 99, just shy of her 100th birthday, fans worldwide mourned her loss. Now, 2 years later, her family unveils a deeply personal secret Betty kept hidden, a revelation that shaped her final years. What was this secret, and how did it influence her remarkable life? Join us as we explore Betty's extraordinary journey and uncover the surprising truth behind this mystery. Betty White's roller coaster journey through love and marriage. Betty White, celebrated for her boundless charm and impeccable comedic timing, was not just an icon in television, but also a woman who experienced the full spectrum of love. While her professional career was marked by groundbreaking success, her personal life was a roller coaster ride of emotional highs and lows, particularly in her romantic relationships. The journey to finding lasting love was not an easy one for Betty. Like millions around the world, she faced heartbreak, disillusionment, and the challenge of balancing her dreams with her personal life. Yet, through it all, Betty's resilience and optimism shone, shaping her into the beloved figure that fans cherished. A rocky start, Betty's first marriage. Betty's first marriage came at a young age, a decision that reflected the cultural norms of the time. In 1945, at the age of 23, she married Dick Barker, a United States Army Air Forces pilot. Their whirlwind romance was undoubtedly fueled by the intensity of World War II, a period when many rushed to the altar, seeking stability in uncertain times. However, the realities of their relationship quickly became apparent after the war ended. Dick yearned for a simple, rural life, far removed from the glitz and glamour that Betty was beginning to crave. The couple moved to a chicken farm in Ohio, where Betty's days were filled with chores that were as far from Hollywood as one could imagine. She later described the experience with her signature humor, noting that the rustic lifestyle was a nightmare for someone as ambitious and city-oriented as she was. The marriage ended after just a few months, marking Betty's first brush with the complexities of love and compatibility. A brief second chance, marriage to Lane Allen. Undeterred by her first failed marriage, Betty gave love another try a few years later. In 1947, she married Lane Allen, a Hollywood agent. On paper, Lane seemed like a better match for Betty, sharing her passion for the entertainment industry. For a time, it appeared that their relationship might succeed where her first had failed. However, cracks began to show as Betty's career ambitions grew. Lane wanted Betty to give up her budding career and focus on becoming a homemaker. This clash of priorities proved insurmountable. Betty had already discovered her love for performing and was unwilling to sacrifice her dreams for traditional domesticity. Their marriage lasted only 2 years, ending in divorce in 1949. Reflecting on this period, Betty later said that her determination to pursue her career was a defining moment, one that set the stage for the independent, trailblazing woman she would become, finding her soulmate, Alan Ludden. By the time Betty met Alan Ludden, she had become a prominent figure in television, with her wit and warmth winning over audiences across the country. Alan, a successful game show host known for his work on Password, was charismatic, intelligent, and shared Betty's passion for entertainment. The two first crossed paths in 1961 when Betty appeared as a guest on Password. Their connection was instant, but their love story didn't begin immediately. Alan was persistent in his courtship, even though Betty initially hesitated. At the time, she was living in Los Angeles and was deeply invested in her career, while Alan was based in New York. The distance and her fear of another failed marriage made her reluctant to commit. Alan, however, was undeterred. He proposed multiple times, each time with a playful charm that eventually won Betty over. In 1963, after 2 years of his unwavering devotion, Betty finally said yes. Their marriage was a joyful union of two kindred spirits who brought out the best in each other. Alan's wit and warmth complemented Betty's vivacious personality, and their shared sense of humour became the cornerstone of their relationship. They frequently collaborated professionally, with Betty appearing as a celebrity guest on Password, much to the delight of fans. A love that endured. Betty and Alan's marriage lasted nearly 18 years, and by all accounts, it was a partnership filled with laughter, mutual respect, and unwavering support. Alan often referred to Betty as the love of my life, and she felt the same. Their home in Beverly Hills was a hub of warmth and joy, where they entertained friends and indulged in their shared love of animals, particularly dogs. One of the most endearing aspects of their relationship was their ability to balance their professional lives with their personal connection. Betty often credited Alan with encouraging her to take on new opportunities, even when she doubted herself. Similarly, Betty supported Alan during his battle with stomach cancer, standing by him through the most challenging period of their marriage, the heartbreak of loss. In 1981, Betty faced the greatest heartbreak of her life when Alan passed away from stomach cancer. His death came just days before their 18th wedding anniversary, leaving Betty devastated. She later described those days as some of the darkest she had ever experienced. Despite her grief, Betty found solace in the memories of their love and the joy they had shared. Alan's passing marked the end of Betty's romantic life. She never remarried, famously saying, "Once you've had the best, who needs the rest?" Her words reflected the deep bond she had with Alan, a connection that she felt could never be replicated. Betty often spoke about Alan in interviews, keeping his memory alive through anecdotes and reflections that showcased the profound impact he had on her life. The legacy of Betty and Alan's love. Betty and Alan's love story remains one of Hollywood's most cherished romances, a testament to the power of perseverance, mutual respect, and unwavering support. Their marriage was not just a personal triumph, but also an inspiration to fans who admired their commitment to each other. Even after Alan's death, Betty continued to honour their relationship, often attributing her resilience and positive outlook to the love they had shared. Betty's take on love and independence. Betty's experiences in love shaped her views on relationships and independence. Her first 2 marriages taught her the importance of compatibility and the need to prioritise her own dreams. By the time she met Alan, she had a clear sense of who she was and what she wanted, which allowed her to fully embrace their partnership without losing her sense of self. In many ways, Betty's romantic journey mirrored her professional one, filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of profound triumph. Through it all, she maintained her humour, grace, and optimism, qualities that endeared her to fans and made her a beloved figure both on and off the screen. Betty White's early marriages. The rehearsals. Betty White's journey to finding true love was far from a smooth ride. Before she met the love of her life, Alan Ludden, she had already walked down the aisle twice, and both marriages taught her valuable lessons. These early unions, which she humorously referred to as rehearsals, were brief but pivotal chapters in her remarkable life. During World War II, Betty met her first husband, Dick Barker, a charming US Air Force pilot. Their romance was a whirlwind, fueled by the intensity of wartime. When the war ended in 1945, Dick proposed, and Betty, eager to embark on a new adventure, said yes. However, their marriage quickly turned into a lesson in compatibility, or the lack thereof. The couple moved to Dick's chicken farm in Ohio, a stark contrast to the bustling streets of Los Angeles where Betty had grown up. The realities of rural life proved challenging for Betty, who was unaccustomed to the demands of farm life. The quiet, pastoral setting was worlds away from her ambitions and personality. After just 5 months, the marriage ended and Betty returned to California, ready to pursue her dreams. Undeterred by her first failed marriage, Betty tried again in 1947. This time, she married Lane Allen, a Hollywood talent agent. At first, their union seemed promising. They shared a common connection to the entertainment industry, and it appeared that Lane understood Betty's aspirations. However, their relationship soon hit a significant roadblock. Lane envisioned a traditional family life, complete with children, but Betty had her sights set on building her career in show business. She wasn't ready to trade her dreams for domesticity. The couple parted ways in 1949, with Betty choosing her passion over a conventional life. Reflecting on these early marriages, she later quipped on Piers Morgan Live, "The first two were rehearsals, meeting Alan Ludden, the love of her life." Fate had something extraordinary in store for Betty when she appeared as a guest on the game show Password in 1961. Alan Ludden, the show's host, was charismatic, witty, and had an undeniable presence. Betty was instantly drawn to him, and the feeling was mutual. Their on-screen chemistry was palpable, often spilling over into playful banter. During one live show, Alan casually asked Betty about her summer plans, to which she coyly responded, "What did you have in mind, Alan?" It was a light-hearted moment that hinted at their growing connection. Although sparks flew, their relationship didn't progress overnight. Betty, cautious after 2 failed marriages, was hesitant to uproot her life in Los Angeles to be with Alan, who lived in New York. Despite her reluctance, Alan was persistent. He proposed multiple times before Betty finally accepted. Looking back on her hesitation during a 2015 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Betty admitted she regretted not saying yes sooner. "I wasted a whole year that we could have had together," she confessed. When they eventually married in 1963, it was clear they were a perfect match. Their marriage was a partnership built on love, mutual respect, and shared joy. While they didn't have children together, Betty embraced her role as stepmother to Alan's 3 children from his first marriage. She poured her love and energy into their blended family while continuing to excel in her career. Betty often spoke about how lucky she felt to have found Alan, describing him as the love of her life. In a particularly touching moment on Inside the Actors Studio in 2010, when asked what she hoped God would say to her in heaven, Betty replied, "Come on in, Betty. Here's Alan." Betty White's unlikely diet. Despite her vibrant energy and longevity, Betty White's diet was anything but conventional. While many celebrities tout health-conscious lifestyles filled with green juices and kale salads, Betty had a taste for comfort foods that delighted her fans. According to her Hot in Cleveland co-stars, her diet consisted of red vines, hot dogs, French fries, and Diet Coke. Jane Leaves humorously remarked, "If that's the key to longevity, maybe she's preserved because of all the preservatives." Wendy Malick echoed the sentiment, joking that Betty seemed to thrive on junk food. Betty herself embraced this indulgent side with her signature humour. In a 2018 interview with Parade, she declared that her 2 favourite things were vodka and hot dogs, probably in that order. During an appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman, she elaborated on her love for vodka, quipping that it was kind of a hobby. Letterman, never one to miss an opportunity for humour, poured them both a glass of Grey Goose, leaving Betty in stitches. Her unapologetic love for life's simple pleasures was a testament to her approach to ageing, enjoying every moment to the fullest. A brush with royalty. Betty White's career was filled with milestones, but one of her most memorable moments came in 1988 when she performed for British royalty. At the request of Queen Elizabeth II's mother, a devoted fan of the Golden Girls, Betty and her co-stars, Bea Arthur, Rue McClanahan, and Estelle Getty, were invited to perform at the Royal Variety Performance in London. The event, held at the prestigious London Palladium, was a glittering affair that brought together some of the world's most renowned entertainers. For the royal audience, the cast performed a specially tailored scene from their beloved sitcom, ensuring it met the protocol for the occasion. Betty later described the experience as very exciting during a 2014 Reddit AMA session. After their performance, the Queen and Princess Anne descended to the stage to greet the cast, adding a personal touch to the already magical evening. Betty fondly recalled how the royal family's warmth and appreciation made the moment even more special. This encounter was a testament to how far-reaching Betty's charm and talent were, transcending borders and cultural divides. Her dream job, a life with animals. While Betty White is celebrated as one of Hollywood's most beloved icons, she often mused about an entirely different dream career. In an interview with the Guinness Book of World Records, she revealed that if she hadn't pursued acting, she would have become a zookeeper. Her love for animals was a lifelong passion that extended far beyond a casual interest. As a trustee for the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association, Betty was deeply involved in advocating for animal welfare. She defended zoos against criticism from organizations like PETA, emphasizing their critical role in conservation. They think no animal should be in captivity. They should all be in the wild, in their own habitat, she once said. However, Betty argued that human activity had drastically reduced natural habitats, making zoos essential for the survival of many species. Her work with the zoo wasn't just a celebrity endorsement, it was a heartfelt commitment to preserving the natural world. Her dedication even influenced her career choices. On more than one occasion, Betty turned down lucrative roles because they conflicted with her animal advocacy work. For her, the well-being of animals wasn't just a cause, it was a calling, a legacy of love and laughter. Betty White's life was a testament to resilience, passion, and the power of love. From her early missteps in marriage to finding her soulmate in Alan Ludden, she navigated life's ups and downs with grace and humour. Her career, spanning over 8 decades, was filled with groundbreaking roles, iconic performances, and a genuine connection with audiences worldwide. Whether she was charming royalty, indulging in her favourite snacks, or championing animal rights, Betty lived life on her terms. In the end, Betty White wasn't just a Hollywood legend, she was a symbol of joy, kindness, and unyielding determination. Her story reminds us that it's never too late to find love, pursue your passions, and leave a lasting impact on the world. Early marriages, a quest for true love. Betty White's journey through love and marriage began with twists and turns that showcased her resilience and uncompromising individuality. Her first marriage to Dick Barker in 1945 was the result of a whirlwind romance during World War II. Barker, a US Air Force pilot, seemed like the perfect match, and their union promised a fresh chapter as they moved to his chicken farm in rural Ohio. For Betty, a Los Angeles native accustomed to the bright lights and buzzing energy of the city, farm life was a stark contrast. The idyllic charm of rural living soon faded, replaced by the harsh realities of an environment that didn't resonate with her spirited personality. After only 5 months, the couple decided to part ways, signalling the end of her first foray into marriage. Not one to give up on love, Betty married Lane Allen, a Hollywood talent agent, in 1947. At first, their union seemed destined for longevity. However, a fundamental difference in priorities led to their separation in 1949. Lane wanted a family, while Betty, laser-focused on her burgeoning career, wasn't ready to step away from the opportunities unfolding before her. Reflecting on these experiences later in life, Betty would often describe these early unions as rehearsals, hinting at the lessons they taught her about herself and what she truly desired in a partner, the love of her life, Alan Ludden. In 1961, Betty appeared on the game show Password, hosted by the charismatic Alan Ludden. The connection between them was instant, marked by a natural chemistry that captivated viewers. Their playful banter, including Betty's now famous quip when Alan asked about her summer plans, "What did you have in mind, Alan?" laid the foundation for a romance that would define her life. Alan proposed multiple times before Betty finally said yes, a decision she later admitted she regretted delaying. Initially hesitant to move from Los Angeles to New York, where Password was filmed, she later described her reluctance as a wasted year they could have spent together. When they finally married in 1963, their union became a shining example of enduring love. Though they didn't have biological children together, Betty embraced her role as stepmother to Alan's 3 children from his previous marriage. She often spoke of their blended family with deep affection, proving that love transcends biological ties. When asked later in life what she hoped God would say to her in heaven, Betty famously replied, "Come on in, Betty. Here's Alan." This touching sentiment highlighted the depth of their bond and the profound impact he had on her life. Advocating for animals, a lifelong passion. Betty's love for animals wasn't merely a hobby. It was a guiding principle that shaped her personal and professional choices. A staunch advocate for animal welfare, she served as a trustee for the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association and was vocal about the importance of zoos in conservation efforts. She believed zoos played a vital role in preserving endangered species and educating the public about wildlife. Her dedication to animal rights was so strong that she turned down a major role in the 1997 film As Good as It Gets. The reason? A scene where a puppy is dropped down a laundry chute. Betty feared the scene might encourage harmful behaviour towards animals and chose her principles over the potential accolades the film could bring. This decision underscored her unwavering commitment to protecting animals, a cause she championed throughout her life. Record-breaking career. Betty White's career in television was nothing short of extraordinary. In 2014, at the age of 92, she earned a Guinness World Record for the longest TV career by a female entertainer, spanning an astonishing 74 years. From her early days in radio to her iconic roles in The Mary Tyler Moore Show and The Golden Girls, Betty's talent, charm and wit made her a beloved figure across generations. Her reaction to the Guinness honour was characteristically humble and humorous. "Who? Me?" she exclaimed, expressing her astonishment. Despite her decades of success, Betty remained down to earth, often crediting her longevity to her passion for the craft and her ability to find joy in her work. Celebrating a legend. Milestone birthdays. In 2012, NBC marked Betty's 90th birthday with a star-studded special featuring appearances by her Hot in Cleveland castmates, Mary Tyler Moore, Tina Fey, and even President Barack Obama. The celebration was a testament to her enduring popularity and the admiration she garnered from peers and fans alike. The following year, NBC aired another birthday special, featuring an even broader array of celebrities, including Whoopi Goldberg, Lily Tomlin, and former President Bill Clinton. These events highlighted not only her illustrious career, but also her remarkable ability to bring people together. For many, celebrating Betty White wasn't just about honouring her achievements. It was a way to express gratitude for the joy and laughter she brought into their lives. The final chapter. A life. Well-lived Betty White passed away on December 31st, 2021, just weeks before her 100th birthday. Her death marked the end of an era, but the impact of her life continues to resonate. She spent her final moments in her Brentwood home, surrounded by her beloved pets and caretakers. Her agent and close friend Jeff Whitjas confirmed the news, emphasising that Betty had been in good health leading up to her passing. Reflecting on her life, he remarked, "Even though Betty was about to be 100, I thought she would live forever." A poignant detail emerged in the days following her death. Her last word was Alan. This revelation, shared by her former co-star Vicki Lawrence, offered a glimpse into the profound love that defined much of Betty's life. A legacy of joy and kindness. Tributes poured in from around the world, celebrating Betty White's unparalleled career and her kindness, humour and generosity. From Smokey the Bear's heartfelt tweet to Seth Meyers' recollection of her legendary energy at an SNL afterparty, the outpouring of love was a testament to the lives she touched. Even in her final days, Betty remained a beacon of positivity. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, she described herself as the luckiest broad on 2 feet, a sentiment that encapsulated her gratitude for a life filled with love, laughter, and purpose. The immortal spirit of Betty White. Betty White's life was a remarkable tapestry woven with love, laughter, and an unwavering commitment to her passions. From her early struggles in love to her groundbreaking career and tireless advocacy for animals, she lived with a sense of purpose and joy that inspired millions. As we remember Betty, we are reminded of the power of kindness, the importance of staying true to one's principles, and the beauty of a life well lived. Her legacy will undoubtedly continue to shine, bringing smiles and inspiration for generations to come.